Good afternoon, investors and corporate. Welcome to SET Digital Roadshow Year-End 2022 Performance Review. This section will run about 45 minutes, including Q&A. The company will start the section with a 30-minute presentation, followed by a 15-minute Q&A section. And during Q&A, investors may leave your question in meeting room chat box or use raise your hand function. We will open your microphone so you can ask the questions to the company directly. So may I now invite the WHA Corporation Public Company Limited to start the presentation, please. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for attending this session. May I start the presentation on page number 5, year 2022 at a glance in terms of performance. As of the year end 2022, we have around 2.718 million square meters in logistic hubs. In year 2022, we get around 200,000 square meters for net rent for build-to-suit, warehouse, and IBF, IBW. And on top of that, another 135,000 square meters for the short-term contract, which still continue to be quite robust in 2022, following since the year of COVID in 2020 that start. Okay, and in year 2022, we also have asset monetization as usual, 200,000 square meters, but in 2022, we have monetized the assets into two REITs, WHART and WHAIR. Okay, on industrial estate side, we continue to have 11 industrial estate and 1 industrial estate in Vietnam, 11 in Thailand, and numbers of industrial estate under development. In last year, we got close to 1,900 rai of land sale. A majority of it is Thailand, around almost 1,800 rai in Thailand, and only 100 rai in Vietnam. And on top of that, LOI MOU, we have quite a significant numbers for Vietnam, 430 rai and 469 in Thailand. Backlog, in terms of backlog that is waiting to for transfer and waiting to recognize the revenue, we have around 468 rai as of year end. Okay. On utility and power, last year we have a utility sale around 145 million cubic meters, and the power side we have 683 equity megawatt PPA on hands, which 644 already start commercial operation, but around 40 megawatt under construction. Okay. May I move to page 7. Last year is another year that this page first. Okay, last year we have a revenue, top line revenue plus share profit of 15.5 billion Thai baht, and net profit of 4 billion Thai baht, which is all-time high in terms of net profit. It's quite a significant growth, even comparing to the prior all-time high at around 3.2 billion. It's quite a new level of the high level that we can show on the performance. Okay, next please. Next. Okay, let me move to this page. Last year is another year that we got quite a significant numbers of awards and recognition. On the left side is the award on the SET award that we got sustainability, innovation, and the REIT performance award on those category. On CG, we also get award in Asian level, and on top of those, much more awards that we get. In terms of growth strategy, last year we have opened the new location for logistics center. Next page. In Teparak Road, phase 1, as of year end, it's already secured the customers of close to 70%. which this year we need to already start triggering the phase 2 of this location around 1 year earlier than what we expected. Because this location is very popular and lots of customers interested. On the middle picture on the top, you will see that the flagship deal last year that we sell land to BYD around 600 right. And in Vietnam, we also signed MOU to develop the third location in our portfolio in the province called Quang Nam. I will touch a bit later up on a later slide. On the solar side, last year we got a numbers of deals, and this deal that we show is towards the end of the year. The solar car park with Ford, which would be the biggest in the region in terms of solar car park. And we also continue to look at the startup that we believe that it's would fit into our roadmap in the future. Mang Mi and Mercura that we invested last year, and we already start launching the first model of the digital healthcare as a pilot project, Rapid. Okay, and let me move to the logistic business. Okay, 2.7 million square meters. I already mentioned 204 new spares that we new net rent that we get last year. Within that 204,000 square meters, around 130,000 square meters is the new project, a new area that we got. Next page, you would see that in the logistic business, we divided into two properties type, logistic properties and industrial properties. Logistic properties roughly almost 2 million square meters. Industrial properties around 0.75 million square meters. The 3-4 key sectors of the logistic property business is 3PL, FMCG, manufacturer, and e-commerce. E-commerce showing here in this page is around 15%. If we look back around 5 years ago, the direct contract with e-commerce is around single digit, but it has been has grown quite significantly during the last few years. 4 key sectors on the industrial property side is automotive and parts, logistics, electronics, and consumer products, which is also similar to the customer base in our industrial estate. Next page, you will see the details of the new projects and rent that we got last year, 137. You will see in the dark blue chart here that on the logistic property side, we got actually around 143,000 square meters. But on the industrial property side, we get negative net rent because we have some big customers that initially they rent this ready-built factory, but they also buy the land in our industrial estate. And once the plans complete construction, they move out from this ready-built factory into their own factory, and then we got this negative figures last year. But however, with the flow of the FDI, with the flow of the investors that are looking coming into Thailand at the moment, we believe that the ready-built factory, ready-built warehouse market at the moment is quite robust and quite we should see a positive trend this year. Next page. Okay, this page, I already mentioned that the phase 1 of the new location that we announced just last year. Now we got around almost 70% occupied in this location for phase 1. Phase 2 would be a similar size to phase 1. Combining two phases, we should be able to construct around 400,000 square meters on this location. Okay, let me move on to page 25, 26, yes. Okay, this page, the target for this year, we continue to believe that the domestic market should continue to be quite robust. We target at 165,000 square meters, plus international market another 35,000 square meters. Specifically, we're looking to expand into the logistic properties in Vietnam. That will be our first logistic properties in Vietnam this year. And total area, if we achieve this target, we would hit 2.9 million square meters by the year end 2023. In terms of monetization, next page, yes. This year, we would continue to have the monetization transaction for the logistic properties, but the size this year will be decreased from comparing to last year. Last year, in terms of the build-to-suit warehouse and general warehouse, it comprised around 160,000 square meters. This year, it would be 142,000 square meters. But a note here is that the key difference is that last year, majority of the asset that we monetized is under JV, which we did not hold 100%. We hold effectively around 50-55% on those JV. But this year, the majority of asset will be on our own portfolio, 83%. So the equity, when we multiply the value with the equity stake, the transaction size to us would be similar between last year and this year, around 3 billion Thai baht. Okay. But what would be the key difference is that this year would not be, there would no monetization to WHA, which is that would be mainly the industrial properties. So year on year, this year would be a bit lower than last year because no industrial assets to monetize. I would stop here a bit if you have a question on the logistics side. Okay, otherwise, let me move on to the industrial estate side. Okay, 11 industrial estate in Thailand, 1 in Vietnam, and we have 2 upcoming industrial estate under pipeline in Thailand and 2 expansion phases in Thailand. And in Vietnam, we have the 2nd and the 3rd location that under the pipeline. On the right-hand side, you would see some of the project there that we finished in 2022. WHA 36 that we, if you recall, we just start talking about this around end of 21, early 22, that we start doing the marketing for this. This location is today the home of BYD in this location, and I would like to announce that as of today, almost all the plot in this location has been either already sold to customers or have the customer book on this location. And the EC4 expansion on the right-hand side is also another location that is quite numbers of only small numbers of plots available at the moment for this location. After we're just doing the marketing, just I would say 1.5 years. Which also result in the acceleration of the pipeline of development. If you're comparing to the earlier presentation, some of this project get accelerated. For example, the WHAIR phase 1. Now it's under full speed to develop. We trying to achieve the first plot ready by end of this year that is ready to sell to the customers. And at the moment, I think we already have some customers that is looking into possibility to invest to buy in this location. ECT Phase 3. If you refer to earlier presentation, it will be marked as WHA 3245. But at the end, we now decide to make it the expansion project of EC3 in nearby location, because it would take a much shorter time in terms of the permits and the license. Okay, and RY36 Phase 2. In this presentation, not updated yet. At the moment, we should already have around 500 right of in adjacent area to the RY36 Phase 1. For the expansion, at the moment, we are doing all the licensing and permits at the moment. We should be able to start construction late Q1, early Q2 of next year. Next page, please. Okay, this page, I just would like to highlight that last year, even though the Vietnam we did not get that such a big land sale in Vietnam, but we get quite a sizable LOI MOU that we signed in Vietnam. One of the key reasons is that the construction of Phase 2 is quite delayed, and at the moment we have a customers that they got quite a bigger than usual size of land that they are looking. So the remaining plot of Phase 1 is probably not that fit to the customers footprint of what they're looking for. So we are now proposing Phase 2 to them, and some of those customers already signed our MOU. At the moment, we also full speed to develop this Phase 2. I will have the picture in the later page. Okay, next page. The customer side, Chinese investors from 2029 continue to be a big portion of the customers that are coming in. However, in this starting last year, especially second half of last year, we see a wider group of investors that really show interest, and some of those already materialize, being European, US, Japan, that start flowing back. Out of those three groups, some of those three groups during the last 5 years, the demand and the inquiry that we got from this group has been quite dry for many years. But we see lots of activity, lots of inquiry, lots of demand coming back from this group. And in terms of sector, automotive, consumer electronics continue to be a very good sectors that coming into Thailand for investment opportunity. Let me move on to page 36. Sorry. Okay, this showing Vietnam. Vietnam, the first location I already mentioned about it, that now we sell already 70%, and we are doing full speed on Phase 2. The second and the third location, Thanh Hua and Quang Nam, it's under the licensing process that we trying to complete and trying to start construction next year. Next page would be the picture of the IER Phase 1 in Nghi An on the right-hand side. This picture should be almost 2 months ago. The latest picture I saw this morning, the lands on the right-hand side here in the front section here, it's already 90% finished. The land grading is already finished. The road from the entrance, we already construct the road and some of the infrastructure. This is the location that we mentioned that we are trying to do this as fast as possible. Right hand side, the IER. Again, this page is probably 2 months ago, but just before this meeting, I just saw the latest picture. The road, some of the road is we already start construction, and the land grading. Some of the plot is 80% already. Okay, target on page 41. Yep. Okay, this year we target to have land sale of around 1750 this year, comparing to around 1900 last year. But to note here that last year that we sell 1899, 121 of those is non-core land outside industrial estate in Thailand also. So if you deduct 121 from 1793, so basically we have around 1650. Okay, around 1650, and then the total area it's reduced by that 121. So this year we project Thailand at the moment we put the target only 1,200 right, but putting more on the Vietnam 550. Just to remind that we already have MOU of around 430 right for Vietnam, and some of those our MOU we're trying to close within the next quarters or two. Okay, and in Thailand we believe that not we believe. We haven't put some of the very big plot that we are under discussion with the customers, which we would trying to update progress on that during the mid-year business review that we would announce the revised target again during mid of the year. Okay, I would stop here if you have questions. Okay, if not, I would move to utility and power. Okay, on utility side, last year we have continued to have a quite a stable growth, around 8% growth in terms of volume. Next page, you will see that the volume in Thailand growing around 4%, but in Vietnam it's quite significant, 26%. Okay, and I need to mention that in Thailand it's a bit lower than what we expect. The volume growth of the customers, as one of the customers, which is the additional demand in 2022, they haven't consumed as much as normal case. That customer is the big power plant that coming online last year. From what we understand is that the EGAT haven't ordered them to dispatch the plant at full load because last year the gas price very high. EGAT has dispatched compensate with running with diesel that result in even lower cost than the gas plant. So this new plant hasn't get the full dispatch order yet. Hopefully this year when we start seeing the trend of the gas price starting to coming down, we hopefully have additional demand that from these power plant. On the next page, last year, as I mentioned, that we have quite a significant land sale in Thailand, and we observed that some of those customers is also the big utility consumers. Three customers from healthcare panel, solar panel, and EV sector. Combining these three, the demand for water and wastewater treatment volume combined is 15 million square meters that coming in last year, which this volume is quite significant comparing to the size of the sale we have last year of 117 million cubic meters last year. So this quite significant amount. And in the past, I have to say that this kind of volume typically would be a power plant sites to have this kind of volume. But not only these three customers, we start to see this segment of customers that coming in, which should be positive in terms of the growth for utility business. In terms of power, let me move on to page 49. As I mentioned, I just would like to highlight the solar rooftop business that at the moment we have 94 equity megawatt of the contract that already start commercial operation. On top of that, another 39 megawatt under development. But the key highlight of power business last year is the IPP business and SPP business, the conventional plant, on page 51. Okay, power side, power hubs, power segment is the segment that we got pressure the most in terms of performance, in terms of contribution last year. Two main reason is that the IPP plant named Gecko 1. That plant we have a numbers of technical problems throughout the years last year, and at the beginning of the year this plant also get some trouble on the import of the coal from Indonesia, because it get banned from Indonesia that no coal miner can export out of Indonesia. And Gecko 1 need to source the coal with higher cost than what it should recover from EGAT, and also with the higher cost, and it's even lower quality. Some of that could be also another source of the technical problems that happens during the year. However, this plant has a schedule major maintenance in the Q1 this year, which they already complete the major inspection, major maintenance on time as scheduled. Another side that get quite a pressure on in terms of performance is the SPP business. On the left, bottom left, the part that get pressure the most is on the industrial sale to industrial users on the light blue. This segment, this portion, it get pressure because the gas price has overshoot from the beginning of the year, but the government did not increase the electricity price as much as it should to cover that additional cost. So the margin of sale on this segment has been squeezed. Even in some month during Q3, we see even the negative margin on the sale to industrial users, yes, which is quite a big drop in terms of performance. However, with the electricity price that we see in Q1 this year, and the gas price that continue to coming down throughout the year, we expect that that would be quite a significant recovery from the SPP business this year versus last year. In terms of a target in page 55, for the utility side, we continue to project that the volume growth would continue from last year that we got 8% increase. This year we target around 15% increase from last year. especially Vietnam that continue to have quite a significant growth, and we continue to focus on development of the value-added product being reclamation water and demineralized water. In terms of power, we target to that this year we would like to have we target to have the capacity from renewable energy increasing from 136 megawatt to 300 megawatt in terms of PPA. Okay, I mentioned renewable because now we did not only target the solar rooftop, which we continue to target at 60, but we would like to develop the other type of renewable also to combine it to be 300 megawatt. It could be a solar rooftop or the solar farm, big solar farm. It depends, but this is the target. In terms of performance, okay, 15 minutes left. Let's move on to the financial segment. 67. Okay, okay. I already mentioned this. The top line total revenue and share profit on normalized basis we increased around 29%. The big driver is the land business and the higher contribution from utility business on this growth. In terms of the net profit on normalized basis in page 70, we grow around 50%, and another 69, sorry. Okay, and another indicator I would like to highlight is the EBITDA margin. Okay, the EBITDA margin we continue to have to stay above 40% at 42%. This is also in line with the long-term view that we guide last year, that in 5-year plan that we're trying to make a certain revenue growth. Our target is to maintain the EBITDA level above 40%, which last year we continue to have it. Okay. Another side I would like to highlight is on margin of utility business, 76. Yep. Okay. Utility business is also the part of the business that get quite a pressure from the higher cost. Two dimension, the power cost that increasing, and also the chemical cost that increasing in 2022, right? And the utility price in the industrial estate, we need to get an approval from authority to increase. We proposed to the authority to increase the price during 2022, but the process take quite some time, and we got the approval to increase the utility tariff toward the end of the year. We designed to hike the tariff of utility in starting January 1st, 2023. So we hope that increasing of those tariff should help the gross margin improve from 2029. 2029, it's in a decrease from 39% to 36%. We hope to see a rebound in 2023, at least from that tariff increase. Okay. On the right-hand side, the power business. The blue chart that's showing here, you would see that in 2021, we have a share of profit of 921 from power business. In 2022, we got only 473 million Thai baht. And just to remind you that this is the share of profit. Okay, so what missing is directly to the bottom line. So this year, when we already see the improve in the gap in the margin between gas price and electricity price. And hopefully, if we can now complete fixing the technical problem of Gecko 1, we expect to see a significant rebound on the contribution from power business, especially this normalized, especially this share of profit. Okay. In terms of the contribution from recurring and non-recurring, yep. Last year, because we have quite a robust industrial estate land transfer, and also we have a very sizable asset monetization last year. So the proportion of non-recurring has increased a lot from 2021, that we have around 50-50 in terms of recurring to non-recurring. Last year, it's shooting to 65% ballpark in terms of contribution from non-recurring. Next page, you would see that because also the industrial estate development and logistics has been quite a big part of this revenue contribution, whereas the lower contribution from power that also reduce the recurring part. Next page will be financial activities. Not much to highlight here. Just to highlight that last year in our group, WHA issued a green bond for the first time last year, and mid of this year, the WHA Corporation would issue the sustainability linked bond for the first time also. Okay, in terms of 5 years target. Okay, as in the earlier page, you already see that 2022 we growing top line around 30%. Next 5 year we target to continue growing another 1.4 times. If you recall, last year we set target a 5-year target at around 1.7 times, which similar to same trend that we showing this year. But last year to this 21 to 22, we already jumped 30%. EBITDA margin, I already mentioned that target continue to be above 40%, with the contribution between recurring and non-recurring close to 50%. You would see from the pie chart, the donut chart above that by targeting this 5-year plan, we continue to invest, to expand, to engage in 4 business hubs. We divided our 5-year capex of 68.5 billion Thai baht into 4 business hubs, and trying to invest in expanding all these remaining 4 business hubs. But I need to mention that this haven't taken into account the new business that we may have in the future. Some of you probably heard already that we are looking to a numbers of business that in under exploration, especially the clean logistic. We hope that throughout this year we should have some deals start materializing on the clean logistic, and once that happens, I would have more than happy to start discussing more in detail on those projects. If you have any question, please.
Please feel free to send the question to chat box, or you can also use raise your hand function to request and open your microphone. If there are no questions, okay, one more question coming out from chat box.
What is the size of asset injection last year and how much gain on P&L from this transaction? I guess you means the okay, the monetization transaction. Team, could you go to that monetization page? 27. Last year, as I mentioned, the total size will be around 5.4 billion Thai baht. The two WHART at 4 billion and 1.3 at WHAR, but a lot of JV assets in WHART have been injected. So contribution, if you take the equity portion to the top line size of 4 billion, it's effectively around 3 billion in terms of contribution size. And the GP level of monetization last year, team, please correct me if I'm wrong, it's around 30%.
Yes, copy pot around 30% for WHART and 60% for WHAR.
Yep. But as you can see on this page, yes, the contribution this year versus last year would be less for quite sure, because we don't have the monetization to the WHAIR. However, we believe that we would got quite a significant recovery in terms of contribution from share profit from power business to compensate on that.
Do you have any question? Okay, the sections has come to an end. So on behalf of the Stock Exchange of Thailand, I would like to thank you investors and corporate for joining the conference. We look forward to welcome you all again in the next quarter. Thank you very much. ขอบคุณนะคะ